Hey everybody, me and Dean back at you with another video today. And today I'm going to do something on the channel I haven't done yet. I'm going to taste through some new releases. All current vintage wines from BC. I got a couple of 2021 whites here and a 2019 red blend. Now, most of you who've followed this channel for a while know that I tend to age almost all my wine. There's a few things we pull out and drink now. But for the most part, even things like Viognier and that usually get aged a year or two. I always think we drink a lot of our white wines too young here in BC. Some people disagree with that. That's fine. But the white wines are both from purchases I made of multiple wines, so multiple bottles of the same wine. I mean, so I'm going to taste, see what they're like fresh out of barrel. They've been bottled obviously for a little while. I've had them for a few weeks now. When I started to think about doing this video, this was a wine that I was going to definitely taste for a couple of reasons. Those of you that have been following the sad news in BC wine will already know that this Synchromesh pulled most of their 2021 vintage because of smoke taint in the vineyards. You might remember the fires last year were very close to their winery. Obviously they didn't get right on property, but the smoke taint ruined most of their wine. So they have released a few wines that came from other places. This is the 2021 Stormhaven Vineyard Riesling. But this vineyard wasn't affected by the smoke taint in the same way. We'll see what it's like. And at the time I was planning to do this, they still had some to buy. They do not anymore. They are now completely sold out of all the 2021s. Excuse me, all the 2021 wines they are going to release are now sold out as of, I checked the website a few minutes ago. So, if you've got some of this, you've got it. If you don't have some of this and you want it, I don't know where you're going to get it, but I'm going to taste it for you anyway, and we'll see if it's as good as the last couple of years have been, because I bought a lot of these last year. It's just an absolute, last year's was an incredible, easy drinking, 8-point-something% alcohol, 8.47% alcohol. Patio sipper. Last year was pretty off dry, and really delicious. So let's see what this will like. Gooseberry, apple, kiwi. Honeysuckle. So it's very young, obviously 2021. There's no petrol, diesel-y notes at all yet. Smells, yeah, but fruit salad in a glass. All right, let's see. Hallelujah. I might drop the glass, except I would break it down. It's delicious. I can't imagine how tough the decision to throw away most of their wine was. But good on them for doing that. Of course, Blue Mountain's another winery in the Oakland Island that threw away their entire 2021 crop. The fires were so bad, and good for them for not trying to release a substandard wine, right? It's a horrible financial burden on them, I'm sure. But you just got to do it. I don't. In the past we've had smoke-tainted vineyards, smoke-tainted vintages where some wineries have got cute and released wines that they called Smoke Show or Smoke This or Smoke That, and whatever. They were interesting. One of them in particular, from a winery who I'm not going to mention, put out a Cabernet Franc that was called Smoke Something or Other, and it was drinkable at first, and I bought a couple of them. Well, I was a wine club member at the time. I got a couple of them from wine club shipments, and one of them was drinkable upon release, but like 6 months later it was down the sink. It was awful. So, I understand and try to recoup some money, but it's funny because the smoky characteristics of wine can be delicious. Smoke taint, on the other hand, whatever that means, whatever level of smoke becomes taint, That's probably something that every winemaker may have a different opinion of. But whatever it is, it really does not make for a pleasant drinking experience. So, a kudos to Synchromesh and Blue Mountain for tossing out their entire 2021 vintage. Well, not quite Synchromesh, they bottled a few that were done other places that aren't smoke tainted. And this is not, there's absolutely no smoke on this at all. And I'm looking for it, right? No smoke on the nose, no smoke on the palate. It's delicious. Yeah, so rich, round, intense mouthfeel, pineapple and kiwi, again, honeysuckle, acidity's medium plus to high, off dry for sure, not sweet but off dry, not cloying at all in any way, shape or form. And like I said, 8.47% alcohol, so you know, a patio sipper paired as well with another bottle or two. Delicious, yeah. So I tell you to go out and get some of these, but I just don't know where you're going to get them. I don't think they will have sold any of these to private liquor stores, or but for those of you that happen to have got some, when I heard they were not releasing their vintage, I went online and got a few of these, and so good on you if you got them, because I think you're going to enjoy them. Now, I would normally age these wines, and I have a couple more of them. I'm probably just going to drink them all because they're just so easy drinking. But I do tend to age BC Rieslings, and they age beautifully. I might age one of these for a couple years and just see what it's like, but realistically, they're just so good now. They're so good out of the bottle. Will they be even better in a couple years? Maybe. But they're so good right now, I'm probably just going to drink them. Just so good. I'm just going to go sit on it's a nice day today. I'm going to go sit on the patio and enjoy this one right now. Okay, so next up, I'm going to go to the red, because I'm having steak for dinner tonight. So I'm going to try and pair this. This is a 2019 crossbreed from Red Horse's Vineyard. I had never heard of this winery at all until someone mentioned they were drinking their rosé on Twitter. You may have already heard the story before. Depending on when this video hits, because I'm in the middle of doing my second rosé video as well. I think this one might actually come out first. So, full disclosure, I did not pay for this bottle. I reached out to Red Horses and asked if they would send me a bottle of the rosé. They only ship in increments of 6, and I didn't want to buy 6 bottles of rosé I'd never tasted before just to review it on my blog and my vlog. And they were kind enough to send me a bottle of the rosé and this one, 2019 crossbreed, which is Merlot and I forgot now, Merlot and Malbec, I think. No, Merlot and Cab Sauv. I will, in post-production, I will tell you what it is. It is, and they're kind enough to send me both bottles to review on my blog and on my vlog. The only thing I promised them is that I would give them a very fair and honest review, and which I will do. So I'm going to open that one up, and let's try that one. All right, so here it is. Nice nose. Blackberry, cassis, plum. A little bit of vanilla. Definitely some mint. Very bright and fresh. So I opened this maybe 15 minutes ago. I did aerate it, and I'm decanting it now. This is only 15 minutes or so old. I assume you all know what a decanter is. If you don't know what an aerator is, it comes in it looks something like this. This is actually the aerator part of it. This is a strainer. So if you don't have an aerator, go get one, because honestly, obviously they're great at opening up the wine, bringing oxygen into it, especially if you're drinking young red wines. Excuse me. The strainer is actually really kind of handy too, because if you get a wine, especially if you get a really old wine with the cork guys, and you may end up with pieces of your cork in the wine, you can strain it, and it also helps with sediment. But also, if you could just strain this into a decanter, and that way you don't want to. If you have an old wine, you don't want to necessarily aerate it, because you don't want to get too much oxygen into it, because it's already old. It doesn't need much more delicate, right? But you can use the strainer part of it separately to get cork or sediment out of a wine without aerating it. The aerating part is down here, which brings oxygen into it. Of course, oxygen is the enemy of wine in the long term, but it's the friend of wine in the short term, because you want to open up the bouquet, you want to open up the flavors that decanting it will do as well in hours, and the aerator speeds the process up a lot. So, yeah, that's definitely smells like a New World Cab Sauv, no question about that. And a little bit of the Merlot baking spice too. All right, let's dive in. Wow, a lot of dark chocolate. First thing I get is dark chocolate, blackberry, cassis. Mint, plum. The palate's comparable to the nose, I think. Yeah, that's nice. I don't generally drink a lot of young red wine, especially not from BC. Well, not from anywhere really, but especially not from BC. But this is nice. Nice medium plus to long finish, well balanced. Acidity's medium plus. Tannins are medium to medium plus. This is a wine that maybe, obviously these guys are new winery. We have no idea how long their wine's going to age, but I would suspect you could age this for 5 years and be fine. But it's also perfectly pleasant to open up and drink now. I bet you it'll be better in an hour after a little more decanting, but I would definitely aerate and decant it. Honestly, my general rule to you would be aerate and decant everything. Every red wine you're opening that's 5 years or younger. There may be some people that would argue about maybe 5-year-old Pinot Noir doesn't need aeration. Some people don't aerate Pinot Noir at all, lighter reds. I tend to do that. I tend to aerate everything until they get older. I certainly don't aerate old Pinot Noirs. That would be a bad idea. But you certainly decant, but you don't need as much time, right? If I'm going to decant a 10-year-old Pinot Noir, I'll put it in the decanter and I'll drink it right away. I won't leave it sit there for a long time. You know, these are, I'm just giving you real generalizations. There's not a hard and fast rule because every wine's going to be a little bit different. You know, if you have any questions, just go to the Googles, as my wife says, and you can probably find lots of expert opinions on how long to aerate a wine, whether you should aerate a wine, how long to decant it, and how long you should wait to drink it. I mean, if I was opening up a big 2017, 18, 19 red wine from Bordeaux or something like that, I mean, first of all, why would you do that? But if I was going to do that, I would decant it for hours. I would aerate and decant it for 2 or 3 hours, sometimes 4 or 5 hours. I mean, it's they get better, and sometimes they're better the next day. So you know, I never intentionally open up a wine and leave it overnight. But sometimes if we have leftover wine, I've heard that term. I don't really know what that is, but sometimes you just leave it overnight and it's delicious and maybe even better the next day. So yeah, okay, so Red Horses Vineyard 2019 crossbreed, very nice. I had to give it a score right now. I'm thinking thinking 88, 89 points. Before I give an official score, I'll let it decant for another hour or so and see if it even improves up to 90. It might. It's definitely a nice wine, and you know, I don't know how long these guys have been making wine. I know they're very new. They probably don't have very many vintages behind them, so a lot of promise there. I'm looking forward to going to visit these guys in the summer when I am up in their general area. I don't know when we're going up for sure, but we're going up in August for sure, but maybe before that if we can find a second trip. It'd be nice to go. I'm going to try and do a trip where we see a few wineries we haven't been to before, some new wineries. I've said that before too, and we don't end up doing that because it's, I shouldn't say that, we do go to the occasional new one, but you know, there's so many of our favorites up there, we only get up there once or twice a year. You know, it's tough to just skip the wineries you love to do a whole bunch of ones you're not sure about, even though that's kind of how you're going to find new ones you love, right? But I just don't have the time to go up to the Okanagan 4 or 5 times a year and taste everything. Wouldn't that be nice if we could? Anyway, okay, so one more. Let's move on to the Viognier. Okay, so here we are, Lariana VIonian, 2021. This is going to look a little different because during this video, my video camera kind of crapped out on me. I think it might have given up the ghost. But right now I'm recording this portion of the video on my iPhone, which was like the iPhone 10 or something. So hopefully it's decent quality. I'm checking it out to see, make sure it looks okay. We'll see. I'll probably use the wife's iPhone going forward because she has the 11, which has got a pretty amazing camera. This one's fine too, of course. It's only 1 year old, or 1 model old, so hopefully it'll be fun. So, Lariana, I haven't tasted this particular vintage yet. I haven't tasted 2020 either. I did have 2018 very recently, which was delicious. I think these Viogniers age well 3 or 4 years, or maybe more. Lariana had some yield problems this year and last year, very small yields. So they didn't open the tasting room last year. They're not going to open it this year either. As wine club members, I was able to get the wine. But I don't usually drink it this young, but I wanted to try it, see what it's like. So let's see what it smells like. Okay, so it's a little bit of medium minus aromas. Maybe medium. A little bit of white flowers. Some tangerine. Maybe a bit of ginger. White peach. Okay. So this just came out of my wine fridge, so it should be at the right temperature. It's not fridge cold or anything, so the aromas are not exactly leaping out of the glass, but it smells nice. Let's see what it tastes like. Much more expressive on the palate. Again, very floral. Hints of like honeysuckle, like an orange blossom maybe. Peach, nectarine, a little bit. Yeah, really creamy mouthfeel. Very nice. A winner as always. If you're not familiar with Lariana Cellars, they are small family-run. That's tougher to say. It should be family-run winery. They don't have a huge. I wonder if I said how many cases. They don't have a huge portfolio at the best of times, even in good years. They make 5 or 6 wines. They're all outstanding. They make a beautiful Carmenere. They make a wine called 13, 14, 15, and that's actually, it's a Bordeaux blend that the year, 13, 14, 15 being the year, so this next one comes out, it'll be 19, I think. And the Viognier is nice, and they have a couple other wines. They're all very good. They are about as close to the United States border as you can get in Oliver. In fact, you walk across the street into the bushes, you are actually in the United States. Wonderful people. We have a really nice little quaint tasting room, and you actually kind of taste inside the barrel room. It's lovely. So if you don't familiar with them, you know, their wines are hard to find if you're not a member of the wine club. I suspect their wine club is full, but you can check into it. But I highly recommend checking out this winery next time you're there, next year when they're hopefully back to full yields and can make enough wine to open the tasting room. But if you see some of these, and you can get them other places, and I've seen them on restaurant menus, rarely, but I have. I've seen them in private liquor stores. I don't remember where, to be honest with you. If I knew, I would tell you for sure. But they do get in the occasional place. I don't think they're in BC liquor stores, but you can find them somewhere. But I highly recommend just ordering from the winery if you can get any, if they have any left. They usually have a little bit after the wine club, so you might be able to order something from the winery right now from online. But you have to check that out, obviously, at their website. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope we've given you 3 wines, interesting wines that you can check out. I'll try to get the video quality all worked out here. I actually think it might be okay on the iPhone. We'll see. That's all for today. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I've got episode 2 of my rosé series. It's like 80% done. I've got 2 more wines to taste. I'll get that through that next few days. That'll be up in the next week or so probably. I've got some more exciting stuff planned for you, so make sure to keep an eye on the channel. Set those notifications so you'll know when I put up a new video. And until next time, drink great wine. Have a great weekend.